The things that kind of make this a little bit different than a run-of-the-mill romantic comedy wrapped up in Christmas are,
My
um,
vision would turn your world upside down, tear asunder your illusions, and send the sanctuary of your own ignorance crashing down around you. Now ask yourself, are you really ready to see that vision?
welcome back to the holiday review time. You know what it is? Again, it's holiday time in 2022. So this is another holiday review to go and actually review a new movie. This one's called Falling for Christmas on Netflix. So if you like that, you like where this is going, get that holiday spirit. If you really got the holiday spirit, you would go ahead and actually click like, share, and definitely subscribe so that we can go and actually keep up the good cheer. But let's get into Falling for Christmas on Netflix. Now, this premiered on November 11th. It only has a 90-minute runtime, so nothing too deep there or anything like that. But the storyline for it goes like this. In the days leading up to Christmas, a young and newly engaged heiress experiences a skiing accident. After being diagnosed with amnesia, she finds herself in the care of a handsome lodge owner and his daughter. So, in that synopsis, we have some motifs that you've probably recognized before, similar to stories like Overboard with Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell, and it's all framed in a Christmas story. So, not an original story, but you can kind of see that we're going to go ahead and actually get some of that good holiday spirit all on us. Okay, off top, we know this is getting your Hallmark type of deal. It has a little bit better production than a typical Hallmark Christmas movie. Now, Sierra, played by Lindsay Lohan, is a materialistic, rich woman who lives the entitled life. Now, she's dating a high profile social influencer, so welcome to the 21st century. And the social influencer, Tad, yeah, you couldn't get any more pretentious than saying Tad as her name, played by George Young, who is equally superficial as she is. But you do notice that she's a little bit more self aware, even living in her entitled state. So that's going to be important, going forward, that we kind of get some glimpses, some lines, some looks that seemingly that she's a little bit more self aware than the average heiress. Now, she and Tad have an accident on the slopes of the mountain and they get separated, with her having amnesia. And she's brought to the hospital by a local ski resort owner, father, and widower. So, on top of him being, ridiculously handsome, he owns a ski resort. He's a father and, of course, a widower. You see where that's going. Jake Russell is played by Cord Overstreet. Till the amnesia ridden Sierra regains her memory or someone finds her, Jake offers to house her at his ski resort. And so continues the Hallmark movie. With the usual Christmas theme, with the usual Christmas themed fish out of water experiences for Sarah, that's how we get into the movie and the hijinks. And she's endearing herself to Jake, his daughter Avi, I believe is how you pronounce it. Avy. That's how it is. And the mother-in-law, Alejandra. And it goes as you think. There's not going to be any surprises here for anybody that's ever watched a romantic comedy based in Christmas, amnesia, two beautiful people. It's going where you think it is. Not, it just is the way it is. The things that kind of make this a little bit different than a run-of-the-mill romantic comedy wrapped up in Christmas are, um, first and foremost, Lindsay Lohan and Cord Overstreet. They actually have good chemistry. They don't seem to be thrown together. They seem to actually genuinely like each other. She's a pro at acting on the TV levels, and she's pretty good in this movie. She's playing just enough character cheese, little bit emotional aspect of it that we can kind of identify with her. We can like her. Corda is a little better than average and makes you kind of feel for him, despite him being the good-looking guy with the cute daughter that has the fledgling ski resort, which is hilarious to go ahead and actually say this fledgling because if you watch the movie and you watch the ski resort that he has, you're like, hmm, you seem to be doing okay, buddy. You want us to believe that, it's going downhill, but it seems to be all right. But whatever. The chemistry is good between the two, and that makes you a little bit more of um, invested into the characters and the story. Second aspect that makes this a slightly above a Hallmark movie is the little side story that we get of Tad, the pretentious fiance, finding his way back to civilization after the accident is comical. I actually had a couple of chuckles along the way because he meets a character that is trying to get him on back or what have you, and there is, I will just say, I it was a nice little change of pace that made me kind of smile, what have you, when I was getting a little too sick of Sierra and Jake, and their whole little, oh, we kind of like each other, oh, we don't, or anything like that. And you go to see Tad doing his thing or what have you, and stuff like that. So that was a good breakup of it. The third thing in this movie is the change of Sierra's character is foreshadowed in the beginning. Most of these types of movies with the amnesia, with the entitled person, they're just a complete jerk, or in the beginning to everybody that's around them, and she has a lot of that. But you also see that she's a little bit sad, she's a little bit unsure of herself, she's a little bit of like, I wish I could be doing something else or what have you. Like, there's something else there, hold on to. And so when the results of the movie get to where they go, it actually makes a little bit more sense in the story form of things. I Again, I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but you know what's gonna happen. Yeah, no. But those are some of the things that make this stand out a little bit more than your average Hallmark movie. Well, with that being said, let's issue a verdict. So people that are fans of like Christmas movies and especially rom-coms should go ahead and actually watch this sometime this Christmas. It's not going to be a classic or anything like that. It's not going to be, held up into super high standards or what have you. But the characters are cute and genuine, and they seem to work well together. The Christmas feel goods are laid on thick on this, like the whole town is surrounded by Christmas, and they hit you with it in like every scene, and you can't help but to just feel like, oh, I'm immersed in Christmas. It is what it is. This is one that you would go ahead and actually get some good hot cocoa, sit with someone that you care about, and you can watch this. And for that 90 minutes, it's a feel good movie, especially if you're a fan of Christmas movies or rom coms. It's a good watch. For mainstream audiences that, maybe you're not, into rom coms, or you're not into Christmas movies except like around this time of the year, is it a must watch? I would say it's not a must watch. It's one of those movies that I would go ahead and actually throw on while I'm trimming the tree. It could be on like a playlist of like two or three movies that while I'm doing things Christmas related, I like having playing in the background because there's some chuckles, there's some laughs. Uh, the scenery is so great. They really lay on the Christmas aspect of it thick there for you. And I think it's going to be one that you'll be okay to watch in the background. And no one's going to watch this outside of the holiday season, especially if you're just a mainstream casual viewer, because it's not like super well acted. It's not super, the story isn't unique or anything like that. But I think it's one that for casual viewers, good to throw on in the background. For those that are really fans of rom coms or Christmas movies, I would go ahead and actually give it a watch sometime during where I'm gonna go ahead and actually pull out and make this my afternoon of Christmas movies or what have you. I could go and actually put this in there and be happy with it. So that's my review of Falling for Christmas on Netflix.
Sierra! Yeah! The jingle bell
As always, you stayed to the end. So, two things. One, I appreciate you. Love you. It's the holiday season. You should give a little bit more. You should give a subscribe, a like, a share, whatever. You can even go ahead and actually share comments. Do you like the holiday session here? Do you like it? Do you don't? Whatever. But I'll continue to go and actually review the holiday movies for you guys all the way up to Christmas Day. So until that time, until the next review, take care of yourself.